I don't want to go off on a tangent, but just mentioning the British guys is in the UK now, and this is a huge difference I see between the US and the UK, is we can drive down the street and most people have an American flag flying outside their house. And you see that all over the country. In the UK, it's controversial to fly the England flag. It's very we've just in Nottingham, our hometown, they've just put up this huge England flag on the council buildings, and you can, as soon as you walk in, it's this gigantic flag, which is fairly standard, you'd expect, but there's been a lot of backlash around it. It's been national news that this England flag is flying in England.
Fly a Union Jack, you're fine? They just don't want you to fly
Union Jack's fine, yeah. It's that England, some people feel like it represents something else. It's racist or, excludes people. But yeah, you can't, but the way you guys fly, you've got American flag, we've got American flag, we've got one outside for sure. All your neighbors had them. It's just a standard thing in America, celebrated.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
And we talk about that, like be a pro in the ownership where you come from. When we originally started that whole push, it wasn't anything about America above anybody else. I want German to be proud to be German, want French to be proud to be French, want English to be proud to be from England, the whole thing. It's the overall patriotic approach. Like, I don't care where the you're from. If you're a patriot, you have accountability over your nation and you're representing them with everything you do. That's what we need. We need people that it's constantly inside of the back of their mind is what I'm doing now represent my country well. Does it make people proud to be an American, what I'm about to say? And if I don't, I should shut my mouth and not say it. Everybody just adopt that policy and we'd be so much better off. Is what I'm saying right now about to make the country better? No, then don't say it.
Yeah, I do think the foundation of that, of being proud of where you're from, it sets a really good foundation for your family as well, like protecting your family and being proud of who your brother, your sister, your mother are, and having the same values that you have for your country, for your family, looking after people. And I think again, in England, it's those kind of things maybe are not there as much. Maybe that loyalty is not there as much, but we could talk about that for ages, but I do need to try and stay on track, because we've spoken today about the ego quite a lot and how where you are today required a death of the ego. But what I want to do is just go into the story of how it developed and how deep you got with it at one point. Like, you really, really did build that up. And I think from listening to the story, I think I'm guessing it started before this, but where it really started to build was those obsession over the details, like how deep and dark you went with that was really far. Like you pushed it really far. Would you be able to explain of when that started, like when you really started to get obsessive with absolutely everything?
It really started in my third deployment. We had a leader come in that was from development group. He came in and his methodology was so different because of where he came from. Everything that he spit out of his mouth, I scooped up as the gospel. Everything he said, because everything he said made so much sense. It wasn't doctrine. It wasn't written in a book. It wasn't force-fed down your throat. It wasn't blouse your boots and cut your hair. It was very unconventional, and because of the way it was, it felt more like a samurai culture. Like everything he says is preparing you for that. Everything you do is preparing you for that one singular thing. Like, well, if you take everything you do over the course of the day and everything I do has an overlay effect with the end state, I'm naturally going to be better. If I stay on topic and I don't let myself stray too far, can I justify everything I do throughout my day? Did it support that? Did I do fitness? Yep. Why did I do fitness? Because it makes me good at that. How's your mindset? Great. I was in a cold plunge today. I was in a float tank yesterday. I'm doing all these things. I'm getting my mindset and I get my mental clarity ready for that, so I can process more information faster. Spending time with the team? Nothing but time with the team. Why? Because I want to know what you're thinking. I want to be able to read your body language from 30 feet down the hallway and teleport myself there to best support you. I need to spend time with the team. Everything I'm wearing, everything I'm listening to, everything I'm saying, does it represent the team in everything I do? Yeah. Am I perfect 100% of the time? Absolutely not. But it's that awareness that everything I do has a cause and effect to it. If I don't perform, that dude gets killed. Can I live with myself if that happens? No. So how do I control that? I control as many variables as I possibly can. I exhaust every resource I can to be as good as I possibly can be, so at least I can fall back and look myself in the mirror and go, not for a lack of effort. I did everything I could. I try to read the body language. I try to teleport myself there. I train on the flat range. I jump. I do everything I can to be as connected to this process because it's the only one that really matters. And a lot of it was purpose-built compartmentalization. Like, I've got to be able to set up walls and boundaries. You seen the movie Heat?
Yeah.
It's Robert De Niro from Heat. Don't get attached to anything you can't walk away from 30 seconds flat. Like, am I willing to walk away from my family right now and get on this airplane and never see them again? Yeah. Why? Because I love everybody on this airplane equally. Because I love this job more than I should. So yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice them and their future to get on this airplane with you, because this is the only thing I want to do. So when you do that, your whole routine really starts to line in. And it makes it really easy to justify the separation. So the not coming home, the staying late, the volunteering for trips and extra deployments and staying late on deployment and all the things you do, it's because it makes me better. And at the end of the day, that's what you were trying to convince. Well, so-and-so's husband just got killed. That won't happen to me. Why? Because I train more. Do you train more than him? Yeah. Do you really? Like, no. You train just as much as me. I'm just lying to myself. I'm trying to self-justify it. And I think a lot of it, if you listen to that episode with Sean, you heard me talk about Nick Check. I think that was the one I had the hardest time with. I still haven't processed that. I really compartmentalized that whole thing, kind of keep it buried down, but he was really the true north. He lived down the road. He came over and borrowed my dog. He hung with my wife all the time. And he was the crutch I used. Like, why do you do this? Because I have to be able to perform at that level. You see him, you know him, you see what standard we're up against. Like, I have to be able to perform at that level. I have to. And he was always training, always in a gym, always fighting. Just, he was a pro. And she knew it. And she knew everybody else who was in that team was the exact same way. In order for me to hold the standard, meet the minimum standard, I have to do at least that. I was like, I can't do that as a 9 to 5. This is not working at some shoe store. Like, I need to do this all day, every day. It's the only thing I need to be. And I justified by telling her that nobody's going to die if I'm a 60% husband. Nobody. If I'm gone and I miss her second birthday, she will never know. She won't remember. But if I'm not there for her 16th birthday, she'll remember that. Like, it's a weird balance to do, especially when it's happening over and over and over again. It's like, I want to do this job until I'm 60. I want to do it as long as humanly possible, and I don't want to get killed doing it. But if that's what it takes, it's what it takes. I don't want to come home and have to lie about who I am or what I'm doing or the things I'm truly passionate about because it hurts your ego. And that's a lot of what it was, is I built myself into a character that didn't have anything externally drawn from him. I was single. Like, in my mindset, I was single. When I'd come home, I'd pretend to be a husband, I'd pretend to be a father, but I really couldn't because all I wanted to do was go back to work. And that's not because of anything else other than I love that job so much. And everybody that does the exact same thing. That's why there's such a fall from grace when you leave it. Because you never tell yourself you're going to leave it. It's never part of the plan. Not for the people that are really living it day in and day out. Like, it's too much fun. Like, the shit talk, the banter back and forth, the showing up early, the staying late, the everything. Living out of vans and hotel rooms and skydiving, just everything you do together, it's the best time you've ever had. And when you don't have it anymore, it's miserable. Now, if you haven't set yourself up to be able to get out and have a successful transition, it's even worse. And that's what happens to a lot of guys, is they are not prepared to leave. They don't want to leave. They never really thought about it. They come with the idea like, oh, I'll get out and I'll work at Goldman Sachs, or I'll get out and I'll do this. You've never really thought about it. You've never really thought about what happens on Monday when you're out of the text chain. There's no email chats. There's nobody that's ever going to call you again and tell you to put that gear on. You're never going to do it again. That's a hard thing to swallow when you've only been putting that on for the last, for me, 17 years of my life. Like, it's kind of it's a surreal moment. And it's one you don't want to live over and over again. How did I get here? How do I get out of here? How do I get that back on? It's a realization it's never going to happen.
I mean, you fought it for a long time. Like there was many moments by the sounds of it where I mean, you were actively being pulled aside, being told to stop many times, and you kind of pushed as hard as you could to continue.
I'd say that's my fault. I mean, that's everybody's fault. You fall in love with that job and you'll do anything to stay there. It's no different than alcoholic. You'll just hide it. Guys hide some pretty serious injuries. I mean, when I was going through training, I broke my femoral neck off skydiving, snapped it off ball and socket, and I did another 40 or 50 jumps on it. I mean, I made it through the rest of training until we graduated, and then I went to the doctor and I was like, hey man, this thing is real bad. And 2 days later we did emergency surgery and pumped in 15 inches of titanium into it. It's like, I was not about to get rolled out of that class. Like, I don't care. And doctor's like, do you know how lucky you are to not get a total hip replacement, get medically retired? I was willing to do whatever it took to finish that course. I did not care. How many times I've been hurt overseas and blown this out or blown, I don't care. If I can actively get over there, and that's the ego. That's the selfishness. I think that's the clarity I have now. Like, you know, with all the injuries, with shoulder and hip related, like, was I 100%? No, I wasn't. There's multiple times where it's probably dangerous. Like, I can't reach my shoulder over my head to throw a grenade. My shoulder will pop out of socket. Could you imagine? I reach back to throw a grenade and it falls at my feet. It's like, but you justify in your head because you don't want to say no. You don't want to tap out, and nobody does. It's like, well, if you leave, then who's going to fill your spot? There's not another one. You can't just go pull one from admin. There's not one down there. Like, now you have a commitment to the team you really just don't want to let go of. And for a lot of guys, like, there's something beautiful in that. Like, that guy is willing to do whatever it takes just because he wants to be here that bad. Like, there's something poetic about it. And then at the other side, when you hear people that they'll tap out or they'll get really hurt and they'll have to do an injury, they don't want to do it. They don't want to leave. It's like, now they're forced to. And you're like, oh. So a lot of guys, what I do is you just stop associating with them. It's almost like a cancer. It's like they have leprosy. It's like they got injured, they got to pull out, and it's like, whoa, no. They're going through a nasty divorce. Like, they would just kind of scoot over a little bit when that's not what you should be doing. You should be reaching out every single day, making sure they still feel connected, checking in with them, but you don't. You can't, because you don't want their reality to become your reality. You just avoid it. You avoid the contact.
Wow. That's bulletproof mindset, that is.
It's shitty though, but that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You talk to race car drivers, the exact same thing, man. Anybody.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing we were speaking about earlier. We were talking about like Kobe and Michael Jordan and some of like the best athletes to ever exist. And I don't know if are we talking about that's the way you viewed it personally, or is that the special forces guys are trying to excel to that level at all times?
I think that's anybody who does something that they obsess about, or that they think that is the reason they were put on the earth. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You look at an MMA fighter, a boxer, a professional swimmer, you look at Michael Phelps. Like, how hard it is to be Michael Phelps. He talked about it. The mental health aspect and just how much you sacrifice to do that one thing. It's hard, but it takes sacrifice. It takes what it takes. And a lot of people, they can't thread that needle. They can't have a strong family life and a strong work life. I think as you're setting that foundation, it takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of personal sacrifice, and a lot of it is just time with you. Don't bring a wife into it. Don't bring kids into it. You need to sit there and build your foundation to withstand all the other stuff you're about to ask it to do. A lot of people rush into it, and then that's why our divorce rate was over 100%. Probably still is. Guys get divorced 2 and 3 times.
In the military?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you think about it, like, do you want to be gone? You want your husband to be gone for 6 months at a time? Come home and gone 250 days out of a year? Not try to raise a kid like that. That sucks. It just does. Nobody wants that. But because they didn't grow up in it, they never got to see it. Like, oh, my husband's in the 82nd Airborne. Like, you're really going to hate life now. Deployments increase. Now they're 9, 10, 12-month deployments, 14-month rotations. Like, people aren't designed to withstand that. At the end of the day, people forget that guy over there who's getting divorced a million miles away in Helmand Province. That's a normal guy. That's a normal guy with 2 little kids who has no Wi-Fi, who has no way to call back. And he's basically getting updates from his mother that she's filed for divorce and she's already sold the house and he can't do anything about it. Like, he still has to fight these people every single day. Like, it's a lot for people to try to compartmentalize. I feel like a lot of people lose sight of that. Stress is stress, trauma is trauma. Everybody's going through something. Like, now you add them overseas, you add in distance. It's like, it only gets worse. It only gets worse. And nobody talks about it. Because it's happening to you. I don't want it to happen to me. I don't want my wife over there talking to your wife. So that's what a lot of it is. We start to separate, and then people feel alienated. They feel like they're alone, and it just, now that, I'll say, male mental health really starts to dive down the drain. Because we used to, you had that tribe mentality, you had that pack mentality where, you know, we draw strength in numbers, and all of a sudden, where did everybody go? They've all left. It's like, oh God, now I am on an island alone. It's a very scary place to be, especially when you've done nothing but team sports your whole life, or in that profession, everything is done in a team. Very rarely you ever alone. Now you are. Oof, talking about a culture shock.
And at your lowest moment as well, like when you're really struggling.
And you think people would reach out. You think that, and now I do. I didn't when I was in.
It makes sense though, like when it comes down to your survival, but at the same time, it's just so cutthroat. Like it's just, yeah, so sharp, yeah.
It is very cutthroat.
Just something that, to give a perspective of what deployment was like for you, you know, being out there. And then you spoke about a really, really shocking story on the Sean Ryan podcast. You know, you shared this story. Is there any other moments for yourself that where you're out there that stood out, that sort of would capture it for an audience who have no experience of what war looks like?
I'll give you one with the human aspect. You would go out and we'd build a target package on, we'll say you. And we study you, sometimes for weeks, for months. Sometimes it's a thing we've been chasing you for years. And multiple guys try to get you. We just can never neck you down. So I've been staring at your face, we'll just say for 4 months. Nothing but your face. People in between, but you're the big fish we're all going after the entire time. You're up to all kinds of nefarious stuff. You're responsible for the death of 40 Marines, and you've done this, and you're this financier, now you're a bomb maker, make it up, whatever you're doing. And I'm staring at your face all day long. I've got a printout next to my computer. I'm writing emails and I'm looking at you. I'm FaceTime my wife, I'm looking at you. I'm burning a hole through you. You're ingrained in my memory at this point. And then eventually we get a call, we found you. Now we're gonna go find you, and we'll fly in on a helicopter wherever it is, and we'll do a long walk in, or we'll parachute in, we'll do whatever we have to. We'll surround the house and we'll do an assault. Really, really quiet, not a sound. You won't hear the gate open, you won't hear the door open. It's eerily quiet. And whatever happens on the inside, if you want to be a hero and you want to shoot it out, you shoot it out, and at the end of the day, you get killed. We've got to go through, we got to clear the rest of the target. The neighbors are coming out, they're shooting at you. Helicopters are flying by, bombs are getting dropped. And in the course of that clearance, you run back and you see all his kids, his wife, his grandmother, all laying on top of him, just screaming. They don't know he's a terrorist. They don't know who that dude is. All I see is a 4-year-old with her arms wrapped around this dude's neck, screaming like you've never heard before. Like, what am I supposed to do for this thing right now? I think about it in reverse. If a SWAT team came in here and killed me in the middle of the night, what my 5-year-old would do. Like, what she would sound like. And it's hard to block that out. It's hard not to see the human aspect of it. Like, they don't know he's actually hunting us. They don't know what he's doing. That's Dad. That's whatever they call him. That's the dude bouncing around kicking soccer balls outside at 12:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. I just watched him do it. He's helping hang clothes on a clothesline. He's doing everything normal. It's just when they go to bed, now he's doing really bad stuff. They don't know that. And they don't know that after he's dead. All they know is that you with that flag on killed my father. That's all they know. And there is a burning hatred that you see. It's usually the boys. I've seen it a couple times, and you'll watch them shift from that to you, and the look in their eyes when it goes. You just created a monster. Like, there's nothing I can do. And when I was younger, man, I used to be a lot better at it because I looked young. I looked like a little kid, and they naturally gravitate to me. They just do. They see me on there. I mean, I've had multiple little kids come up, and I just pick them up. I'll walk them around the courtyard, just try to get them in a good spot, put them over with the wife and kids, but try to crack Kim lights, try to give them candy, try to do whatever. And I think about, in reality, what that must feel like. Like now I've got this dude that looks like some alien, quad tube night vision, you know, cut off this, big beard, long hair, and you just shot my father in the face. Now you're giving me a Kim Light and a packet of Skittles? Yeah, thanks, dude. Like, oh, God. And some of those things, like those are the ones that really haunt me. Is I'll come back and I'll have a reaction, or I'll have a moment with one of my kids, and I'll remember back. Like, or they'll scream, they'll make a noise, and I'll remember. I wish I could speak Arabic. I wish I could just tell them, like, dude, I wish you weren't here to see that. I wish I could have just men in blacked you and just taken that memory away from you, but I can't. I got a job to do. Your dad had a job to do. At the end of the day, it's war, man. I did not kill your dad because I wanted to. Killed your dad because I had to. And it sucks, man, because a lot of that, it weighs on people and they think about it in a real context with real emotion. And now once you have a family, you see it for the whole picture. Nothing else you could do. I'm not going to let him kill me. I'm not going to let him kill my friends. But I really wish there was a way to not expose him to that. And you've also seen it in the polar opposite. I've seen dudes bear hug their kids and put them as human shields so fast it'd make your head spin. They don't care. I've seen dudes push their wives in front of people. I've seen them shoot their wives. They don't care. Like they'll put a suicide vest on a kid real quick, sit him right in the courtyard and collect him off. They don't care. Which is very different because they don't know that. They haven't seen that side of them yet. I have. Like, you don't know how far your dad would have gone. Give him 15 more minutes, you would have been outside with an AK. Like, I know the reality now, but it's hard not to shift it. It's hard not to go back and forth. But a lot of that, I mean, that's a lot of stuff the guys deal with.
That's tough. That is tough, yeah. I think, like you say, when you've got kids who, like, you know, I'm picturing my son in my head whilst you're saying that, and that's, yeah. I mean, obviously, the reality doesn't line up, but yeah, it's very difficult, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
It's a weird one, yeah. That's, and I mean, so you went down, you finished it, like that's your third tour where you really started to obsess over the details, and you were, I mean, I don't want to mess this up, but a lot of head trauma was happening because of
the breaching,
yeah,
everything.
So that was mentally affecting you.
Yeah, now that I feel much better. Yeah. Now I can really feel the difference. You wake up with a hangover, you can't shake it out of you. It feels like 3/4 of your brain just isn't working. Like I can't process as fast as I could, you know, weeks ago, days ago, hours ago. I can't focus anymore like that ADD, you know, focus I had before. I can't direct it anymore. Now it's just everywhere. Now I'm inputting different information. Like I'll go to a chow hall and people are eating, the cups are banging, you know, knives on forks, just all the sounds, just auditory impulse. It's like, oh my God. Next thing you know, I'm having a fucking panic attack. Like, I don't know what a panic attack is, but I'm in the bathroom dry heaving. Like, I don't know what is happening to me. Crying in the bathroom, nothing's happening to me. Nobody said anything to me. I'm overcome with emotion for no reason. Oh my God, I'm going crazy. But I'm not saying anything and just try to solve it real quick. Try to walk back out like nothing's going on. Like, you good? 100%. And I'm just going to try to isolate until I can figure out whatever this is. Like, you just keep doing that over and over and over. But yeah, the head trauma was a multitude of things. We do a lot of breaching, a lot of explosive breaching. Also do a lot of jumping. Hard openings, some really hard openings, some whiplash stuff. And then getting blown up. You know, grenades and being rolled around, just that post-concussive syndrome. I mean, you're constantly getting bashed up, and it takes a toll that you don't want to acknowledge. Like, nah, it's not a thing. No, I'm good. Well, eventually you're not good. And it wasn't until, we came back, I got hurt pretty bad. I ate a couple grenades and had amnesia. I was waking up in some weird spots, and I had a boss at the time. I was supposed to go on a heavy breaching trip, like blowing up walls and buildings, like really big shots. And I think it was the morning we were going to leave. And he's like, I don't think you should go. I went, no, I'm good. He went, he's a very intimidating figure. He goes, let me rephrase it. You ain't f***ing going. Roger that. And I didn't go. And that was the best thing that's ever happened to me. If I would have gone on that trip, I'm not saying anything would have happened. I was in no condition to go on that trip. None. I wanted somebody to pull me. I didn't have the balls to pull myself, but I was in no position to go.
You started having symptoms from, these concussions and stuff. And then at the same time, you were put on a concoction of drugs, and it started to compound over time. Like, different drugs were being prescribed for different things, and they were messing with each other, and all this kind of stuff was happening, and the concussions and stuff on top of that.
So I had all those issues. I went to a TBI clinic, and like, you have depression, you have anxiety, you have this, you have ADHD. Let's get you on all these medications. So you've got injuries, you've got fibromyalgia, you have all of these things. Dude, I came out. I got them downstairs. I'll show you. Pills after pills after pills. And some of them, like, my anxiety was so bad, my depression was so bad, my pain was so bad. And we went through a laundry list of pills until we found one that worked. And the very first time they gave me the one that worked, it was like Jesus came down and touched me. Like, holy shit. Okay. I was never one of those guys like, I'll never take drugs. Like, give me drugs. If it gets me back to work, give them to me. I don't care. I had dudes shove a 14-inch needle through my throat and my brainstem 3 different times. These stellate ganglion blocks, I've done everything. I don't care what it is. If you think it'll work and get me to work, send it to me. I don't care. Whatever it'll take. Those things eventually come to where you're taking pills 3 times a day. Well, now I'm not drinking to excess, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm taking pills to keep me up. I'm taking pills to put me to sleep. I'm taking pills to take pain away. You've got nerve pain, take this, take this. I mean, it got to the point where I couldn't feel anything. I mean, I was getting hurt, but because my body, I couldn't connect my brain to my actual physical vessel. There's like a delay. So you seen like a trailer hitch on the back of a truck? You walk around and bang your shin on it, how bad that hurts. I could kick that thing as hard as I wanted to. You could see it. My leg would split open. There was a delay for minutes. Nothing. That was one of the reasons I got medically retired. It had killed my nervous system. So we were in there talking to the doc, and I grabbed this big metal thing, and I was like, tell me this is normal. And I smashed this thing on my shin 5 or 6 times really hard, and my foot didn't move. He's like, do you feel that? I was like, no. He's like, you don't feel it? I was like, I don't feel it, dude. They were doing these nerve tests, my foot's not firing. I was like, I don't feel it. So that's the issue, is I can't tell if I'm hurt or if I'm injured. My shit will just stop working, and my shoulder's dislocated. It came through my armpit. I was like, I don't know how bad it is. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like the drugs had put me in a spot where I couldn't tell up from down. I just knew that I have to keep taking them. So I just kept taking them. And then you'd build up a tolerance and dose would increase. I was never at a point where I'm like scratching the coating off these things. I just took them the way you told me to. And I never stopped. And I was on them for a long time. I mean, I think I got on those pills in 2013 and I didn't come off until 2019, 2020. And I did 6 more deployments in between that time. I mean, I just kept going. Because that was my new baseline. But I mean, I had headaches so bad. I mean, I wore glasses indoor, outdoor. I mean, you go to my truck right now, there's 5 or 6 pair in there. I don't leave without them. And that was really from the photophobia from the TBI. I'm getting blown up. That's not what we called it. It's like, well, you got TBI because you have this. Like, take this pill, take this pill, take this pill for that. Well, when I take this one, this happens. We'll take that pill, it'll counteract that. Just, before you know it, I mean, I felt like a chemist. I'm just mixing concoctions. Like, I need something to go to sleep. We'll take these 3. You kind of just get used to it. And, they say that some of the pills aren't habit forming, they're non-addictive. That's a lie. You get addicted to not being in pain. And then you'll take as many of those pills to achieve that status as humanly possible. And that's what happened. So eventually the wheels kind of came off and I had to go to a rehab facility, 30 days inpatient. And it's the strangest thing, man, because if you ask Patsy or anybody who was up there, I was so clueless on what they were doing to me. The entire time, I never thought I had a problem. Never. I was in complete denial. The ego had a hold of me. And I thought they were going there because they couldn't keep me on those medications anymore. I know that for a fact. I mean, it popped an error code, and I guess 3 or 4 of the medications I were taking, you are not allowed to take together. He's like, if you take it, you'll stroke out, you'll die. Well, I've been taking those for 7 years. He's like, you got to come off them right now. So we went through an intensive med washout. We came out of everything. I mean, suicide watch. I mean, he took my shoelaces. I mean, it was a no shit inpatient. And I remember sitting there and telling the nurse, I'm like, I don't get what the big deal is. I don't know why we have to do this. Like, just stop, give me the meds. I'm fine. And I remember her looking at me, shaking her head, and she's like, oh, honey, you don't know what this is, do you? She's like, you'll see. 3 days later, I'm pissing in the bed. I'm throwing up all over the place. I mean, I am in full med detox. And the entire time, I'm telling myself, I'm telling nurses I have food poisoning. They're so sweet to me. They're just shaking their head, cleaning my face. Like, I know, honey, it's fine. You'll get better. You'll get better. I was like that for 2 weeks, dude. No food poisoning. Just all the meds in my system, my body, just purging them all out. When I came out of that thing, I was like, oh God. Like, well, there's still 3 or 4 meds you have to stay on forever. And that's kind of what I went with when I came out of there. Just stayed on those meds, and it just compounded. Kept getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah.
Did the pain come back, for those 3 weeks? What was that like?
Humbling. Because I was young. I mean, I joined at 17, and by the time I got to that point, I'd already had, a handful of surgeries, a couple of my stomach, 2 of my hips, my shoulders, collarbone, stuff like that. And by the time I woke up and I would walk, I would feel what my normal state was. And it was not good. Like, this is not where I want to be. And then I think about these guys, these retired, athletes, and I see them walking around normal, living full lives. I can't do this. Like, I do not want to do this. And I didn't know what it was. Like, there's something happening with me physically. Like, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to play this game anymore. And I really started to get more and more depressed. And I think it was once you took away the medication, there was such a gap from my brain to my vessel, and there was no blocking in between, but I couldn't control them. It's like, I'm not synced up. What am I going to do? Like, I've got these negative thoughts in my head. My physical vessel is not going to propel me anywhere. I can't do anything. Like, I'm still broken. I'm weak. I lost a shit ton of weight. I felt like death. I didn't want to do any of this, man. And then I met Vernon. And that whole kind of process started. Got back in the gym 5 days a week, some intense rehab, a lot of physical therapy, a lot of mindset coaching. And then I started to pull out of it. It's like, the better I got physically, the better I got mentally. Okay, I don't have any drugs. I don't have any alcohol. There's no nicotine. There's nothing else right now. Let's see what I can do with just this. Just diet and exercise. Let's see what it'll do for my mental health. And outside of things I could control, that was the biggest thing for me. If I can keep on top of my physical game, the mental stuff overlaps so nicely. The worst I've ever been depressed-wise is when I couldn't do anything physically. I get electrocuted and lay in my bed for months. I can't feed myself. I can't wash myself. I can't do anything. Just circling the drain. It's like, if I can get up and I can walk, now I have a purpose. Now I have a reason to wake up. Okay, well, I got to get up, got to do a walk. Got to get up, got to go to the gym. Got to get up, got to do this. Once I started to make that my habit, sort of form a routine, I was like, well, since we're on this journey, why don't I make a purpose-built routine? Let's do one just like how we did in the military, but instead of this, it's just me. I'm just optimizing myself now. Until I find an end state, I'll just work on me. That's what we did. I don't have a job, I don't have a career. I'll just focus on me right now. And it really pulled me out of the depths.
We've spoken about this all day today, and I have a large audience of people who come to me in their rock bottom moments, their really, really difficult moments, asking for the trick to fix it. What trick can I do to fix it? How can I change this tomorrow? I can't do another day like this. And I think you've hit the nail on the head that it's just 1% better every day, like a tiny little thing, one step, whatever it is. And I really do think, I have not heard somebody say that before. People talk about morning routines all the time, but in terms of the morning routine or routine being at the cornerstone of taking that extra one step every single day and trying to be better every single day, I've not heard that before. And that creating that structure in someone's life. And I think it's just perfect advice. For men especially struggling with mental health, just create a routine that you can stick to and start, building on it, make it better. And the exercise thing as well, just having something to improve yourself every single day, measurable, little by little. But it's hard to get that message to people.
It is, and a lot of people, they want a quick fix. They want to take a pill and make it happen. Mm-hmm. It's not going to. And a lot of people, they set these goals that are so unrealistic, you ain't going to make them. You don't have the discipline to pull it off. And I know it's nice to hope and want and wish, it ain't going to work. Why don't you set a goal you can actually maintain? Like, let's go to bed at the same time every day for 7 days. Let's wake up at the same time every day for 7 days. Just do that. Let's add a 20-minute walk in after dinner. Let's add in one before you go to work. Now let's see what's realistic. Now, inside of your life structure, can you add a morning routine that has fitness before you go to work? No, because of this, and this. I tell you to find a little gray area, find a little buffer. Maybe you go to bed earlier, maybe you wake up earlier. There's something you can do just for you that makes you exponentially better without a lot of effort. And a lot of it is micro wins. I'm trying to stack up as many micro wins as humanly possible. Did I wake up at the same time that I was supposed to? Yep. Did I get my fitness in? Yep. Get a cold plunge in? Yep. 20-minute walk? Yep. Protein shake? Yep. Diet in check? Yep. Did I make my first meeting? Yep. That's 6 things before 10 a.m. I've done that 7 days a week, every day for 5 years. Pretty fucking good, man. That's pretty repeatable. Do I do a 20-minute walk after dinner every night? Yeah, every night. That's pretty repeatable. I can knock that out. Do I take a shower every night? Yeah. So why couldn't I do a walk? If I'm not going to do a walk, do I take me and my wife and go on the front porch for 10 minutes? 10 minutes, just you and me. Like, it's pissing down rain. The kids are in there watching a movie. Let's just get 10 minutes, you and me. Let's make it a routine every single night. 10 minutes, 5 for you, 5 for me. Data dump whatever's going on in your life. Send it to me. Right? Like, you can build a reasonable routine that only makes you, it builds a bond with your partner, whatever it's going to be. But people don't want to just line it out. They want to turn over, they want to listen to a Joe Rogan podcast or Andrew Huberman and go, oh yeah, it'll work for me too. They're so disciplined. And if you don't break that down in manageable chunks, you'll never do it. And now it'll be another loss column. Oh yeah, I tried keto, it didn't work. Oh, I tried this, it didn't work. I say it with diet all the time. Best diet in the world is the one you'll actually stick to. Doesn't matter what it is. That could be keto, that could be vegan, that could be whatever you want it to be. If you'll actually stick to it, that's the best diet for you. No different than that morning routine. Life has such a big physical component over it, and that's why I push it so much on military, police, firemen, just overall every day. Because to me, life is about processing information. Whether that be conflict, that could be navigating human terrain at the grocery store, it could be whatever it is. The better off I am physically gives me more options. I can process more information because there's no physical taxation to me processing that. Because if there is, I can already solve it. If there's a physical element in it, I don't even know what it is, I can pretty much get through it. Because I'm honest. There's not many things physically that I can't grind my way through. I got to jump on this, I got to push that, I got to pick this chick. I can do all that. If anybody else can do it, I can reasonably do it. And I think most people can, especially if you put forth just a little bit of effort, and the confidence that comes from that is really the key to mental health. It's stop feeling like a victim, and I say that to everybody else too. If you're going to talk about mental health from a fetal position, stop. Stop. If you're laying in your bed right now talking about how bad your life is, stop. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to hear you from there. If you're going to talk about mental health, get up and do it in the grocery store. Get them to go interact with people. Say it to them out in town. Get up and just move. Build a routine. Wake up, drive your car 15 minutes, go sit at Starbucks and drink a coffee inside the restaurant. Do that. Just watch people interact. It pulls people out of depression. They don't want to listen to it. Like, I want to be alone. I know you do. That's why you've had this depression for 20 years. Get out and move. Be around people and see everybody's doing the same thing you are. And not a lot of people just want to put in that work, or they don't want to hear the real truth. The real truth is that everybody's got some stuff going on, man. Everybody. Just be open and share it.